Also is back at it again with another video. And before I get on with what I have to report on in this afternoon's video, I do want to give a quick shout out to all of you guys. And this is because y'all were so understanding of last night's video. Like, I didn't even know if I wanted to upload it, but it was just something that was on my mind. Like, I was put in a tough situation and I didn't know exactly how to tell you guys, so I just spilled everything. And thank you all for being so understanding and compassionate and supportive. I will always appreciate y'all for that. And yeah, let's actually get into what we want to talk about this afternoon. First up, this is actually related to one of the things we're going to be talking about. But yeah, let's give a refresh to that 3 million. Oh, excuse me, 3.5 million. Yup, the Yang Gang raised the stakes last night. Now we're shooting for 3.5 million. And looks like we are just about 50K shy of hitting 3 million. And I'm currently recording this at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's 11 hours to go. And we're just about to hit 3 million. Can we see the Yang campaign? Do I see the Yang campaign raising the goal again? Oh, absolutely. If it's like 6 or 7 a night and we hit the goal, I think they're going to raise it to 4 million. I've heard rumors. I think I've seen it on Twitter a couple times that either from someone higher up or something about getting hashtag 4 million Yang trends. So yeah, we might be aiming in the end for 4 million to end off the quarter. And I will link this in the description. There is this really cool Google Docs thing being shared. Let me refresh it real quick. So basically, it's been tracking. I know this is really small font, but this page, this Google Docs spreadsheet page, has been tracking pretty much in 15-minute increments what the donation is at, like what the goal is at. So you can see, and sometimes it takes breaks, but you can see at 11:30 a.m. we were at just about 2.9 million. At 10:30 a.m. This is all Central Standard Time, by the way. At 10:30 a.m. we were at 2.843 million. So you could say, using this data, we went up 50,000 in an hour, which is absolutely crazy. We have this article that came out yesterday from CNBC saying that Yang campaign expects a big fundraising haul. And if you've seen my videos recently, I know I've been talking about that we're going to hit $20 million for quarter 4. I've said it over and over and over again. And this article right here said that apparently a person with the Yang campaign, or within the Yang campaign, a spokesperson, I guess, said that the campaign is currently expecting over $12.5 million. Or I think the exact quote was, the Yang campaign expects to raise over or at least $12.5 million for quarter 4. Obviously, the way that's worded, it sounds like, $20 million in quarter 4 is far away. But trust me on this one, y'all. The Yang campaign is lowballing it. They were kind of put on the spot to report a number, and I think the Yang campaign thrives on headlines and big announcements. So why would they announce that they're about to hit 20 million, at the wrong time? When the right time to announce it is your actual fourth quarter fundraising number, when everyone else is announcing. So then people do comparisons, and how crazy would a headline be of like, Yang campaign raises $20 million in quarter 4? Why spoil it now? So that's why I think Yang is hinting it here by saying, I think we can beat 12.5 million by a mile. So obviously a mile, what I'm saying is I think we're well past 12.5 million and the Yang campaign is lowballing it. And for further proof, we have this tweet by the Zach and Matt show saying, I may be wrong, but I think the campaign is underselling their fundraising total to the media to create a bigger splash later. There we go. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. So here's why. And yeah, like it said, according to Daily Beast, the Yang campaign expects to raise at least 12.5 million, 25% more than the previous one. So from Zach and Matt, we have a little bit of math over here. So they say, the Daily Beast reports the campaign as having nearly 1 million contributions, 1 million And we did actually pass 1 million contributions. We have the tweet by Zach Rahman saying we received 1 million contributions, but I'll read that first. 1 million times the average donation to the campaign, about $30, is 30 million. We raised 14.4 million in quarter 1 to quarter 3. That leaves 15.6 million on the table for quarter 4. And I want to say this is before the Yang campaign factored in the 4 million fundraising goal currently going on. So with this math in mind, what I'm saying and what Zach and Macho is saying is that we are well past 12.5 million quarter 4, and the Yang campaign is just giving a low estimate. Like, they're lowballing it in order to like make huge waves when they catch everyone off guard. Like now everyone thinks the Yang campaign is going to stop at like 13 million, maybe 14 million at the most. But when we drop that big headline, that big 20 million raised headline, that's going to turn heads and it's going to shock everybody. And I think this makes the most sense. Y'all could disagree with me, and if I'm wrong, like I said, I will be the first to admit I'm wrong. But 20 million quarter 4, just quote me on that. I'm sticking to my gut here. But of course, we have this tweet by Zach Rahman saying, "I remember when we used to honk a horn for every donation. I remember begging friends and family for money to keep the lights on. I remember when we told people to just give us $1 to get us on the debate stage. And today we received our $1 million donation. Thank you, #YangGang." So that is very touching and very sweet, and it just shows how far the Yang campaign has gone in all of this, like what the campaign manager has gone through to kind of get Yang to where we are, or get Yang to where he is right now. And yeah, Yang is on the upswing. If only we got some polls from the DNC to reflect that properly. And speaking of polls, Andrew Yang tweeted yesterday. There was a whole hashtag that Andrew Yang started, but we're going to read the tweets first. "We need the @DNC to hashtag poll the people. Between now and January 10, the DNC should commission 4 early state qualifying polls in Iowa, New Hampshire, Nevada, and South Carolina, where all the candidates have invested their time, resources, and staff. It has been 47 days since a qualifying poll in Iowa, New Hampshire, or Nevada was taken. As you know, big shifts can happen within short periods in this race, as we've already witnessed multiple times. Let's ask the people @DNC, hashtag poll the people." And then Andrew Yang offers to pay, or offers to help fund DNC to release these polls. I think it was jokingly. But yeah, Andrew Yang tweets out, "If cost is an issue, we would be glad to contribute to the DNC, the cost of the commission polls. It's a small price to pay to actually see what voters are thinking at this crucial time." So, excuse me. This poll, or this hashtag, was a success. It reached number 1. We were stuck on number 2 for a while because the number 1 trend was actually something like hashtag President Bernie or President Sanders or something. And Poll the People actually ended up going over it, and we were number 1 trending on Twitter for a while. And this was not a community started hashtag; it was a hashtag that Andrew Yang started, and so we did not let him down. And yeah, we got it trending. So go us. Ultimately, I feel like we made a splash, but ultimately, the DNC denied Andrew's requests for releasing more polls, or specifically denied Yang saying that the DNC should conduct their own polls. But of course, I think they were twisting Yang's words to say that, obviously, Yang wasn't saying that the DNC should make their own polls all of a sudden. I think what they're saying is to tell the pollsters to release more polls or conduct more polls. Obviously, it would be like a big issue if the DNC were making their own polls. Like, it's good that we're currently using independent pollsters to get polling data and not from like the parties themselves, because obviously a lot of bias come. So I think the DNC kind of misunderstood or purposely misconstrued Yang's words. So that's lame. But hey, we still have under 2 weeks, 4 more polls to come out, so we can always hope for the best on that. We had Tom Steyer actually here on Twitter agree with Andrew Yang, saying, "I agree with Andrew Yang. The race has changed since the last early state polls over 40 days ago. the Democrats should require more early state polls to ensure the most diverse field possible and to reflect the current support of voters in the early states. So, thank you, Tom Steyer. I guess he's he's kind of warming up to me. Besides the whole billionaire spending tens and tens and tens of millions of dollars on TV ads. Besides that part, he's actually he's like one of the better billionaires. And we have this tweet by Cory Booker, Andrew Yang's main man, Cory Booker. We have this tweet saying the last early state poll was conducted before the November debate. This race has changed a lot since then, and there should be more early state polls if that's required to get into debates. We're investing in grassroots campaigning because that's the best way to reach people. So basically, what Cory Booker is saying, he's saying the same thing that Andrew Yang is saying. Like, we should have a more diverse field, and why have qualifying? Like why have these qualifications and these thresholds if these candidates that aren't in the debates yet can't even reach them because no polls are coming out? I know it's the holiday season, but this is getting kind of troubling. It almost feels like the DNC already has their preferred candidates up on that debate stage or already qualified, and they're just kind of trying to quietly shoo the rest of the candidates out. Like, release the polls, hashtag release the polls, hashtag poll the people. Like, where are the polls, DNC? Where are the polls? But yeah, it is December 31st. So actually, that means we have 10 days. 10 days, including the day of January 10th, up until midnight to get 3 more polls for Andrew Yang, because I'm pretty sure that NPR qualifying 5 or 6% poll was counted for the January debates. So 3 more polls. We need to get 3 out of 3. I know we will get 3 out of 3 because our growth is tremendous. We just passed 1 million contributions. We're going to raise $1 million in fundraising today, and they're just an upswing. Oh, and we have almost 400,000 unique donors already. I feel like we just passed 350,000 unique donors. So we're on the upswing momentum, and like I say, when that headline comes out, 20 million Q4, Andrew Yang campaign raises 20 million in Q4. That is going to shock so many people, and yeah, count me on that, y'all. 20 million Q4. If I am wrong, y'all can clown me until the end of time, but I feel it. 20 million Q4. Not just that though. Just doing the math on this, we raised. These are all the fundraising goals. There was the end of October 1.5 million goal, 500,000 that went to internet ads, and 1 million that went to TV ads in Iowa for the first time. Yeah, y'all remember that 1 million ad buy. Then there was that 1 million mid-November goal to extend the ad buys in Iowa for 1 more week. Then there was a 2 million end of November goal. And then there was the 2 million December goal, which I believe was for the Andrew Yang bus tour. Yep. And then the current 3.5 million end of December goal, which will probably most likely turn to 4 million just for that cool 4 mil. So just fundraising goals alone, that equals $10 million. $10 million in just the fundraising goal periods. And assuming, I know for a fact that December 1 was like a 10-day long fundraising goal. But assuming the other ones were 7 to 8 days, that's just about half of the 90 days, or half of the about 90 days in the fourth quarter were fundraising goals. So you can say and this is all rough estimates, for roughly 45 days of the 90 days, we have info on that we raised $10 million. Like, just in those 45 days, just in half of Q4, we raised $10 million, you could say. So I think it's fair to say that we raised a lot in that second quarter, or in those other 45 days. Like, I don't think we're gonna land somewhere around 13-14 million. Don't forget the merch sales, Don't forget the post-debate surges. Don't forget the hashtag trending surges, like when we get stuff to the top of the Twitter and then there's donations like crazy. Don't forget all that stuff. And like I said, I think this video's gone on long enough. When we see that cool 20 million Q4, maybe even more at this point, remember to come back here and say, wow, Lewis, or Detective Lewis, you were right. And no, I'm just kidding. But that's actually going to be pretty much it for me. All right, I am done here. It is did not mean for the video to go on this long, but I guess I owe it to y'all because, yeah, I did not mean to make last night's video go on for so long either. But yeah, and before we end the video, I do want to give a shout out to all my Patreon people. We have $10 from AUZ, $60 from Nikita M, $10 from KCW, $10 from Lee Z, $5 from Lily C, $5 from Raging Newbie 2, $20 from Craig R, and $10 from Lords JC. A reminder to all my Patreon people, tomorrow, January 1st, you will be charged for yet another month. So I do appreciate y'all donating this month, but if you're watching this and you don't want to be charged for a whole new month, or you just wanted to support me only for this month, make sure to cancel auto renewal. And I'm probably the only Patreon person that did this, but I don't want y'all to accidentally be charged for a second month straight if you don't want that. So my Patreon people, I hope you're watching, and if you're still watching and you're okay with being charged for a second month, then thank you. And if you aren't, then thank you anyways. And that's pretty much it for me. If you're watching this in a day, I hope you have a good day. And if you're watching this tonight, I hope you have a good night. Thank you all so much for watching. I've been Detective Lewis. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see y'all later. Peace. One take, baby.